Number 4. Joomla works the way you work. Drupal, while much more flexible in some ways, can really be daunting when it comes to managing the content. And while WordPress supports custom content types, so does Joomla. The great thing with Joomla is the workflow is really simple. We call it the cache workflow. You categorize, you add, and then you show via a menu. Joomla has complete content versioning as well, making it a very robust management system. There's a WYSIWYG editor that comes with Joomla out of the box. We've installed JCE, which I always recommend, and a great media manager for both. Finally, information can go anywhere, at any time, under any circumstance, using Advanced Module Manager from no number. And yes, I'm going to suggest a few extensions as we go, and then in the last summary video, I'm going to give you a link to my 45 extensions in 45 minutes talk that I did at the Joomla World Conference. Well, let's take a look at what I just talked about. Our cache workflow starts with categories. Now, I installed the sample data here. Normally, the only thing you'd have is an uncategorized category, and you can put things in there. But generally speaking, think about how to make your content fit together in categories, and it will save you a lot of time. Here we have the sample data articles, a Joomla category, and then a Park Site category. You'll notice subcategories have dashes that indicate how far down the categorization structure they are, and Joomla allows for unlimited nested subcategories. This is really great. When I add an article then, I choose what category it goes in. This Quick Icons article is in the category called Plugins, and if I take a quick peek at this, I have the category structure right here where I can choose which category it goes in. I can tell Joomla to publish it immediately or just leave it in draft mode. I can control access to it via ACL, and we'll look at that in another video. And I can assign it to a language group as well. This is the WYSIWYG editor that comes with Joomla. I haven't turned JCE on yet. This is TinyMCE. Some people love it. Most people like JCE, and I'll turn that on in just a moment. I have advanced publication settings right out of the box. I can add images to the introductory text, like the teaser mode, and the full article image. I can add links to the bottom of my article if I want. I can also override all of the display options for my article right here. Whether I want to show the title, intro text, show the publication date like in a blog. And finally, I can even set permissions for this article so that any level of user or any user group can see this or not see this article. You remember I mentioned versions. There is a complete versioning system here in Joomla. So if I make a change, my change, and hit save, I now have a version of my article that is available to me to go back to. I know who did it, I know when they did it, I know the character count, and I can even preview the article and the changes that were made. And of course, I can revert back. That versioning system is really helpful, and it's quite advanced. I mentioned buttons down here at the bottom, and as you add different extensions, there'd be more buttons that will show up here. So as I categorize, add, and now show my content, I have a menu system that is quite robust. I can have different menus anywhere I want. If I click on the main menu, here are the main menu items. Now, because that article was a part of a category, there's a blog layout that accesses that article. I don't have to have a menu to absolutely every article on my site. So for instance, there's a menu link here that lists all the categories on my site, and then I can just quickly drill down to any content item I want. So the cache workflow gives us a really simplified way of managing our content. I'm going to quickly switch over to JCE just so you can see the difference. Here in global configuration, we choose our default editor, or I can assign that on a user-by-user basis in the user menu. Again, you have absolute control. So now when I click on Add New Article, I have JCE, and again, this is completely customizable. We have a great tutorial on JCE at OS Training. So Joomla works the way you work. It's easy to think through categories of content, add the content, and then show the content. So finally, information can go anywhere, at any time, under any circumstance, and let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say I wanted the latest news in my right sidebar. Well, this is a module position in Joomla, and again, this is all covered in our Joomla beginner class. Let me go ahead and click on Module Manager, click New, and I want the latest news module. I'm going to choose all categories. I'm going to show 5 categories, and I'm going to give this a title of Latest News. I'm going to show the title of the module, and I just have to pick the right module position here, which is position 7. And in our beginner class, we show you how to figure that out. I can set a start date and a finish date for this module if I want. That's really all I need at this point, except to say I'm going to show it on all pages, or only the pages selected, or just the pages except those selected. So I can choose none, and then just scroll down to the main menu home page, click Save and Close. When I hit refresh on my home page, there's my latest news. But when I go to any other page, it's not there anymore. And again, we cover all of that in our Joomla beginner class. A way to really make that work, as I mentioned, is the No Number Advanced Module Manager extension. Adds an amazing array of great options for that. So as we conclude number 4, Joomla, it works the way you work. Simplified content management. You can paste Word, you can paste text, gives you a WYSIWYG editor to manipulate that text and those images, and then you can place information anywhere.